Hey everyone, this is your friend, your guide, your mentor for the topic that is factors modifying drug effects. This topic is from the subject pharmacology, and I wanted to tell you one thing that if you study pharmacology and pharmaceutical chemistry like together, if you are doing the subjects together, that will be easy for you because most of the pharmacological terms are introduced in the pharmaceutical chemistry and vice versa. Like in pharmacology, you are going to study the same drugs, but you are going to study the rate of absorption, their metabolism, and their effects on the body, that you are going to see in pharmacology. And in pharmaceutical chemistry you are going to learn about their properties and their structure. So this is the just the difference. So please pay your kind attention to both the subjects. And pharmaceutical chemistry, we have uploaded videos on that too, so you can visit the link in the description and then you can learn that. So let us start. As you can see, the response of the drug varies from one individual to the other. Every individual has certain factors, and due to that the dose of the drug varies. It is different for different individuals. Let us see the factors one by one. The first factor is age. Age, it is for like small children and the adult people. The dose of the drug is not same. So why it is so, that we are going to discuss. Now children are hyperactive to certain drugs and hence the dose should be decided. And that dose to be decided, there are two formula. Number one is Young's formula. It is age upon age plus 12 into adult dose. Tilling's formula is age upon 20 into adult dose. So these two formulas are to find the dose of drug. Dose of drug but for children. Now there are other factors as well, like immature renal functions or poor development of enzymes in children. So these are also the factors that dose should be decided for the children. Now second is body weight. In fat people, or we can say the people with high obesity, the clearance of unchanged drugs, that means it is very low. Unchanged drugs, the clearance is very low and accumulation of drug can take place. So therefore the dose should be decided according to the weight of the person, whether the person is lean or the person is fat. So depending on that. Next is sex of the person. Now if the person is a woman, so women are more susceptible to certain drugs. They are susceptible. And example is, we can say morphine produces more excitation in women than in men. So this is example that the gender of the person can have an influence on the action of the drug. Also females have more body fat than males and hence renal clearance of the drug is very low. So therefore this is the factor which affects drug absorption or drug effects. Now fourth is route of administration. Now here this we have already been done with this term, route of administration. Various routes I have already taught you, so please visit the description box for the link. Now the rate of absorption varies and also the dose. This is written that if the rate of absorption is fast, so the dose will be required low. So therefore route of administration. For example, we can say intravenous dose of a drug is less than subcutaneous dose. So this is the example that rate of absorption varies So the dose also varies. Then the fifth is time of administration. This is very important. Here it is like written as drugs which produce nausea, vomiting should be taken after food, but enthalmintics in empty stomach. Now let me explain this. To reduce side effects of irritation of stomach, things such as biscuits, milk, a glass of milk or sandwich are enough, and then after having that, one of the things, we can have the drugs which produce nausea. The reason is to reduce irritation of the stomach. That's the reason. But in enthalmintics, it is taken to kill the worms, that are parasitic worms that are present in our gut. So therefore enthalmintics should be taken in empty stomachs, so that these enthalmintics are also given in order to like kill the only the parasitic worms and not the host's body. So this is the thing. And sixth is physiological factors in this: body temperature and acid base status to be maintained. Now in this body temperature, acid base status are factors and they modify the drug effects. And example is salicylates. These salicylates lower the body temperature only in fever, not in normal individuals. So that is the physiological factor. And acid base affects distribution, excretion of drug. So therefore the acid base status and body temperature should be we can say maintained, and that also have a effect on drug action. So this is the psychological factor. Here the effect of drug may be modified by psychogenic response of the patient. That means here the patient is being given placebo. And placebo means dummy medication. As the figure number 1 shows, it is not the medicine, but the patient is said that this is the medicine, and if you have this medicine you are going to be healthy again. So that person takes this in a positive way, thinking that it is medicine, and hence this is the psychogenic response, and hence it is a placebo. Placebo, that means working in positive way, and that patient might get healthy again. And it also, there is a one more effect that is known as nocebo. Here in the second figure, here you can see, here it is written, if you believe it will affect you, it will. That means if you are positive, so you are going to show the placebo effect, and if you don't, it won't. That means if you don't believe that it will affect, so the drug is not going to. If you are actually eating the drug, then also it is not going to affect, because you have thought that it is not going to work. That means you are thinking negative. So this is all psychogenic response. So this second part, it is nocebo, NOCEBO, and this one, the first part, is placebo. So this is about the psychogenic. And let me tell you, distilled water, lactose are used as placebo, and many more things are also used, but distilled water and lactose are used as the dummy medication or placebo. And that dummy medication, this dummy medication have the same color, smell of the actual medicine. So this is the this thing, psychological factor. Let us move to the next, pathological state. And here this is also affects this also affects the drug action. Now the diagram shows healthy individual and here hyperthyroidism. Healthy individual has normal thyroid and here the hyperthyroidism patient has bulging eyes, then goiter. That means the thyroid gland is enlarged, this one. And in this case, to maintain the level of T4 or thyroxine, there is large dose of morphine given. So that is the thing. And if this goiter is caused if there is overactive thyroid gland, that means this thyroid gland is overactive, hence it is hyperthyroidism. So in such pathological states, here the example is given as hyperthyroidism, and in this you require large dose of morphine in order to maintain the level of T4 or T4 is also known as thyroxine. So this is the pathological state. So one drug, that is morphine in large dose, is introduced in order to reduce the hormone secreted by the thyroid gland. Now next factors, other factors we will be doing in other lecture. Thank you. Hey guys, if you liked our video, please do like, share and subscribe, and please press the notification bell icon so that you can get the latest updates.